Hello all. So today we'll learn about how to create a Spring Boot application, how to create a REST API, and how to connect your Spring Boot application to MySQL DB. Okay. So to create a Spring Boot application, you need to come to start.spring.io. This is one of the easiest way using which you can create the Spring Boot application. Okay. Once you come here, you need to add the group name, artifact name, okay, a description of this application, and you need to add the dependencies. Okay, so I had already filled up these things. I'll add the dependency here. How to add dependency? Just name it. For example, if I need MySQL drivers because I need to connect to MySQL DB, then I need to create the REST endpoint. That's why I need web, and to connect to MySQL DB, I need JPA. Okay, these three dependencies only I need, and then I just need to click on generate. Okay, since I had already generated the application, that's why I will not generate it again. Let's go to MySQL Spring Boot project. So here we need to create the database. You need to give the database username, password, MySQL default port is 3306. Now I had given a MySQL demo DB, but I had not created it. So let me create the MySQL demo DB in the MySQL. Okay, so I'll go. This is my heady where which I use to connect to MySQL. So I'll create a new DB, MySQL demo, and so MySQL demo DB is created. Now let's create a table. I'll create a table employee, and I'll add a column ID which will be of integer, and I want it to be auto incremented. Then I'll add another column in the table that will be name. It's going to be varchar. Length I'll keep 64, and then the third column I'll have is salary, and again it will be integer. Okay, and I'll keep this ID as primary key. So I'll generate the tables. Table is generated employees. There is no data in it. Let me add some data so that I can read it from the REST API endpoints. So I'll add first name on it, and the salary will be 1000. Then I'll add another column, another row, Sumit, and its value is 2000. So I had added two rows in the table. I had created a database, I had created a table, I had added some data in the table. Okay, now let's read it, connect to this database, and let's read it from the Spring Boot application. Okay, so uh, to connect to the table, I'll create a model where I'll do the entity mapping. Actually, entity table mapping I'll do. I'll create a package. I created a package model. I'll create a table class employee. This I'll use to create the entity. So I'll add entity. Its name is this. Remember that you need to have the same name that you have given in the table. Okay. Now I'll add the three columns that I had added in the database: ID, name, and salary. Let me go here. I'll add private integer ID, private string name, because the second column was string, and private integer salary. Now I'll create a dummy constructor. I'll create a dummy constructor. I don't need to initialize any variable here. I'll just remove it. Now, since this was the primary key, that's why I'll annotate it with ID. Since this value is auto-generated, as you can see, I had added auto-incremented, auto-generated value. and then its column name I'll keep as ID because I had this name as ID. The second column name is name and the third column name is salary. So I'll create column name. I'll create name at the rate column name as salary, and then I'll do the auto generation. I'll create the getter setter. Okay, so our model is ready. Let's add the repository. And in the repository, I'll create an interface. I'll create employee repository. This will extend JP repository, the employee and primary key is integer. So I'll keep it integer. So our model is ready, repository is ready. So now let's add the resource package, and this I'll use to I'll create a Java class, and this will be the class where I'll write some REST endpoints. So what I'll do, I'll just go inside it and I'll create employee API, and since it's the REST endpoints, I'll have to REST controller annotate it, and each REST endpoint has some mapping. So I'll have the mapping of slash APIs, and I'll create. We need to auto-wire the repository because this employee repository using JPA will read employee data. So I'll need to auto-wire it. I'll do auto-wire. What I'll do, I'll public list sorry, I need to auto-wire employee repository. Employee repository. Now, what I'll do, I'll create a method public list, and I'll return all the employee. Get all employee, and this will kind of get mapping. Value will be slash get all employees, and what I'll do using employee repository dot find all, and what I'll do, I'll return it directly. So we have our REST endpoint ready, we have our repository ready, we have our model class ready. Now I need to map the JPA. So enable JPA repositories. Base package is com.mysql.psc.mysqldemo.repository. So this is the package actually where it has. So either I can copy this and paste it here, or I can write myself. Okay. So now we have application. Our application is also ready. Let's try to run this. Let's try to run this application. Employee repository, MySQL demo application I'll run, and I'll try to access using the this REST endpoint API / get all employees. Okay, so I'll go here, and the application is started on 8080. So I'll do localhost / API / get all employees. You can see I can read Amit and Sumit, which is here. If I'll add another, suppose the one salary is 3000, and if I'll refresh it, you can see the pound value is also here. So that's how we learn how to create a REST endpoint and how to read the MySQL and how to connect it and read the MySQL. Okay. Now, if you want to add endpoint or to add some values, so you can do like post mapping value is add employees public list employee and add employee, and its request body will be final employee and I'll just return this, and I'll add okay. So using employee repository, I can save the values which will come. Okay, let me just do the rerun of it. So using this endpoint, I can add values, and using this endpoint, I can read the values. So let me copy this, add employee. I had already opened the Postman. And this would add employees, and I'll add name 1 and salary 105. There's an issue in this body. Duplicate entry 1 for primary key. Okay. Let me try to remove these endpoints and then try to add it. See, now I'll add name 2 and salary 110. See, the values what I'm adding is getting added here. Same is getting returned. Okay, so that's how this is the post endpoint, post mapping. Using this endpoint, I can add new values and I'm able to read it as well. So today we learned how to create a database in MySQL, how to add values, how to connect it using a SprintBoot application, and how to create the REST endpoints, and how to add values and how to get values from MySQL using the REST endpoint using the SprintBoot application. So that's all, my friend. In the next video, we'll learn more on the SprintBoot. Thank you so much.